Here we go. Let's see what we got here. All right, so let's get this back on. Let's get the alerts on. Desktop audio on. All right, here we go. I'm going to start with yesterday's call-outs that we had, early bird sessions, even earlier in the Discord over here. You can go to LiquiVision.trade and get that $10 a week for your early bird levels that you're going to get right here now, but you're going to get them earlier. So you'll be the very first early birds to get those levels out. So here's a look of what we had yesterday. We had CORZ, Core Scientific, pumped up into the benchmark there, benchmark 1, and straight into the sell side liquidity pool, and then back to the first target, which is the buy side pool. We then had a double bottom in that buy side pool later on in the day, and then started to come out of it on the buy side. So there was kind of this very like 650 area up to $7. There was 50 cents in that for you. And then we're just shy in the pre-market now of the sell side liquidity pool that is coming in there. So your sell side liquidity pool, if we can push up into it around 725, that also has alerts going straight from my charts here into the Discord. So it lets you know when it hits that level and there's a possible sell on. So it is a possible sell on if we get up there to 725, 735. Is there anything above it? Yes, there is. Look at 12. Now, it doesn't have to go here. This could be it for CORZ. It just doesn't have to go here at all. There is a bogey level sitting in the middle here. Let's turn that down a sec. So there is a bogey level sitting in there. So it's just something to be conscious of there at 1050. Midway point between benchmark 1 and benchmark 2. So that's what we've got there. Now, I'm not looking for buy side necessarily, but if you are looking for buy side, let's turn that SMA. We'll have a look at that in a second. If you are looking at buy side, then we're in there now. Okay, so that's it. So buy side is sitting here around 660. That's the buy side pool sitting there at 660, and you could come down to this one as well. So there's a gap here between, if we fail and go below 630, we're looking to get to 550. Again, there's alert on this. Let's rewire this alert here, get it set up. So that's going to fire off, okay, to the Discord if we hit in there. Right, now, so that's how we're playing this. If we pump up to 624 again, we're going to look for rejection. Potential short on for you. If we are going to the buy side pool and we start working out on volume, then there's a potential long from 670s up to 7s. Bearing in mind, or 725 actually. Bearing in mind, you can use that pull and reject off for the sell side. If we break above it and close above it, then there's potential for it to go supernova and go higher. All right, so we'll check that. But that's the two levels at the moment, kind of trapped between these two, and we can buy it and sell CORZ. That was yesterday. ANNX from yesterday as well before we move on to today. See if we got any more backside on this. So yeah, this was pretty nice yesterday. Again, benchmark 1 play. How many trades did it give us in pre-market, and then it gave it to you again in the post-market? $7 down to $5.50, $1.50 on that trade there for you. And then even we just missed our alert there on the buy side. It was so close, and then it come off back from $5.50 to halfway house. Let's see what we're looking at today on that to see if we can get, so from that low, that high to this low, that's what we missed out on. We're now putting a new low on pre-market, so that's going to bring us all the way down to 620. So there's a 40-cent range here now that if we jump up to it, this would be sell side, okay? So that would be the sell side pool sitting up there. So 620 to 660. If we push up, you can short that if we get rejection and then go off. If we break above, then there's potential again to go higher, bearing in mind there is another benchmark up here at 9.10 to 9.40, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. But that's the buy side down here. If you dip down into this buy side, you can go again. The most recent one for pre-market is going to be from this low to this high, so you're going to have a level in here at 5.40 to 5.20, 20 cents sitting in there now on the buy side. Okay, so buy side, can I grab that buy side? Nope. There we go, on the buy side. So this is just to get, this early bird session is to just get you the levels out before anyone else. So what I'm going to do is put this out to you guys and on Tradecaster, and we are going to see, I'm going to leave it up so that you can see and capture these levels before the open. Now, ANNX is, so that was a nice trade yesterday. That's done. Let's get on to today. UCAR today's already done it. It's already done the short, and this is the value of getting those early birds into your pre-market plan, right? Because you've already broken our $6. So that was a short up there from $8.90, from $9, $8.90 all the way down, and the target would have been $6 here in the middle of this buy zone. We will draw it in, but as we've closed under it, I don't think there's anything left to do with UCAR. Again, benefit of knowing that is this is still on the scanners, so it's still been up there as a gap up this morning. So this is just to acknowledge that this could be pretty much done today. Now, buy side pull, right? So now, if we do work our way above, if we do work our way above 627, 630 and close, if that volume comes in, then there's another potential go at the highs. If it does go at the highs, we're going to take the high to the low, and you're going to come in around $758 for the sell side. So it's got to do some work to get up there if it isn't already done. But that is UCAR this morning. So buy side here around 630. If it can get above that, then we've got a 750 target on that. If you close above 839, well, yes, $12 is up there. You'd have to break the sell side liquidity, break the benchmark, close up above 1015, potentially pull back, and then go again. Okay, so that is UCAR. What else have we got on? Not a lot else here. SYTA was just called out as we started the stream. SYTA. Okay, yes. All right, we've got something going on here. Let's have a look what we've got. SYTA coming on over to the lows of yesterday. Okay, and we've got benchmark up here at 270.280, so we're going to mark that one up. Benchmark there. Let's use that as benchmark 2 as the higher one. Doesn't have to get there, but it can do. And then we have this benchmark level. The idea of the game, really, if you can catch it, the idea of the game is that when we break out of this initial zone, that we work our way up through target 1, target 2 and get to benchmark. If you can capture that, normally you have to be an early bird to get that on small caps, because they're being pre-positioned in pre-market. There is no market makers and liquidity providers switched on until 8 a.m. so they get to do what they want to do, right? So you are coming in, and that's the aim of the game at that point. Now it's kind of overextended. Yes, it could go all the way to benchmark 2, and yes, I will put an alert up here to notify everybody that this is coming in, but that is what we are looking at on SYTA. So this is on the scanners. You just heard the volume come in on the tape, and that is what I'm looking for. So it's continuing to push up right now. If we can get up there to 272, 280, I'd look for a pre-market sell. I prefer it before 7:30 a.m. Eastern, really, if we can get it, because if not, the things can get a bit messy then going into 8 a.m. with the liquidity switch on. Things get a bit crazy, but if it could push all the way up there now to 280, I'd be happy to short that, no problems. So there you go, you've got that one first. That one is on the move on SYTA. All right, so that's your small cap stocks. on the run this morning. UCAR, SYTA. What else have we got up here? MITQ. MITQ had a little bit of money flow. Let's see what we've got there. Okay, let's delete off previous. Let's see what we got. Right, this is sketchy down the lows here, but let's have a look. That's the, yeah, yep. Okay, so let's bring this down a bit so I can get both levels in. Okay, so benchmark IMTQ in it at 140 there, goes up to 166. Now benchmark 2 is up there around 230 to 250. The breakout has occurred, and that's what we look like. We know we've got it right when it acknowledges the top, yeah, and then breakout, pull back, away we go, breakout, pull back, and then you've got that move from 78 cents already this morning up to 140, up to 150. So there's already double the money on the table. Now what we're looking at is it going to be a player for the rest of the day? So it's going to be on scanners today, and we're going to look to that high, and we're going to see that low. Now at the moment it used all of the liquidity deep into that zone on the buy side. On the buy side pull, so you are there already and pushing on up. Now the question is, if it's going to push and break through this 140 area, it has to beat the sell side liquidity level. Okay, so let's come in, grab that level there and drop it right in there. Template, sell side, there we are. All right, so now we've got a trade on. If we hear that coming on, switch this around. If we hear MITQ on the tape coming through now with volume, there's a potential trade on here from $1 to $1.20 if that's what you like. If not, what we're doing today is waiting to see if it can break 137, 138. Now, if we're waiting for the open on this, what have we got? Another couple of hours before that happens, but we could just bounce between these two levels, so there might be 20 cents in a trade for you there. And then the question is, on the open, will it be able to break 140 and push up higher for 230, 240? So that's what we're looking at on MITQ. Then I'd look to track the buy side every time it went up. So for example, if this was the most recent, if I drop this down onto the 1 minute, if this was the most recent push in, I'd be tracking that up there, and look, there'll be another one just at $1 right now. Okay, just at $1. If I put that in on MITQ, there would be another buy side being stacked within the buy side pool, right? So that's how it's going to work. There's always one there to catch. If it pops down into this at 1, grabs 1 liquidity, can go up there to 120, 30, 40. Then the question is it going to close above 140? If it does, it's got the chance to take a look at 230, 240 on MITQ. All right, that's your pre-market stocks here. Now, this is not going to be a long stream. I'm just getting this out there, the early bird. So when you come in, you can get on there on Tradecast and have a look at what these LiquiVision levels are putting out for you. Okay, if you want it earlier and you want to catch these levels, then obviously go over to liquivision.trade and grab that membership to the Discord early birds. You'll be able to get it there. Right, okay, let's have a look at, let's drop this over and have a look at the futures. Okay, we've got a whole bunch of Apex accounts that we've got sitting behind us. So all these Apex accounts going on there, and we will be checking those out and doing some live streams to see if we can't pass them. Let's have a look. Let's jump up a time frame on these to see these levels that we've got. Now you can see I'm always tracking these levels because that's the way I trade futures. So when they come into the buy side pools, I'm looking for that rejection on a small time frame. This is a 30-minute. You can wait for the 30-minute bar rejection out of here, but you're probably better off dropping down the time frame to catch that a little bit closer to reduce the risk. So that's what I'm coming in for. Buy side liquidity, it goes up target sell side liquidity. You can see one here on the smaller time frame. We come into this buy side liquidity, and this is what, 3:30, so an hour into the session. We expect one of these to break going into the open, right? So this is how it kind of played out here. We was in a sell side liquidity. There was another sell side liquidity block here from this high to this low. We tapped into it. That was a short 30 minutes in. That was the play. Now it bounced at this level and stopped, but when you've got a block that size below it, you're kind of thinking, well, at least surely we're gonna run to that. So you're anticipating that. Now, not to say that's a hold. You'd take that money and run without a doubt. That would be your day done on the NQ. No worries with that money in your pocket. But there was another trade on here, which was this green to red, and down it come again. There's another trade on here. This was at 6 o'clock. Run up, ignoring this because it isn't there anymore once you've used it up. So you move that over there. Then there was another one here, which was this swing to this swing. Again, we had a bigger one over to the other side. So that was what, that was what it went for. On volume, we heard this coming on the tape in any case, so that's what we was looking at. So the buy side and the sell side there tapped in, and then we just follow it along, and we do it pretty much again and again and again. And buy side in, there's the rejection. It comes out, it goes to micro sell side up here, and then there was a sell there. That was good. So again, another few hundred in your pocket there, depending on how many contracts you're doing. And then we push up to the major buy side, right, which is sitting up here, right? We've got stacks of sell side. We've got stacks of sell side liquidity sitting up here. We're pushing our way further into this today. This is the New York close back from Wednesday. So we're just acknowledging that New York close at the moment, but generally it's the middle of a sell side liquidity pool as well. Whether or not we are trying to break it today, because we do have new highs. If you look at this rejection, we pushed down. There was an attempt there. We rejected that 250, 300 level massively. Then we tried again. It rejected again. So sell side liquidity, we could push down and grab some liquidity around the around the 18600s, 18625 to be exact. Or we could push down because this guy and this guy are still sitting there, right? They're still sitting there. So this would be aligned with the channel, which these pools create those channels and those trend lines. So that's what we're looking for. Right now, we're in a channel on the upside that has taken us from this buy side to the major sell side. We're looking to see if we get rejection up here at, what are we at? Well, at 800. SYTA's on the go again. So we're looking to see if we get rejection up here. Again, if not, if we can close above 815, we're then looking to the top side, 858 or 860, somewhere around there. If we break and close above 890, 880, we can go for new highs. Okay, on the NQ we can do that. So it's to see if these rejections actually have enough power and momentum to do it. Now, if I was going to look at benchmarks, if I'm going to look at benchmarks on this, the benchmark starts right up there at 860. So we have a confluence with the benchmark and sell side liquidity pools. There is a higher level, obviously, up here at 19042. So that would be retesting the all-time high. So that's what we've got at the moment. The first up, we're going to look for rejection because this is still a sell side block. We will need a nice push up a little bit further into it and then a rejection off. Might see that up at the 1800s again. Let's see if those 800s can hold. If not, if we then reject off that, this is the key level to see if we're going to continue and push, right, to try and break that 880 area. This buy side pull, we've got an alert on it. If it comes in there, we're going to know about it. We're going to look to see if we can get rejection at that point and see if we've got a trade on the buy side. So that buy side at 741 to 720. So that is the NQ for you. ES is going to be a pretty similar thing. Deep into its buy side. ES loves to go deep into its buy side, its its sell side liquidity pool. So deep into its sell side liquidity pool here. Buy side worked, buy side worked. This didn't come and grab, this didn't come and grab. So we've got two pulls down here. Again, if it can close above, now ES may lead the way here to give an indication of what the NQ can do, or it might fake, but this is just used. This is essentially gone now because we've used all of that liquidity up that's in that zone. We've been working it a number of times and finally got to the very top of it. So will it reject on the open? See that rejection, you can trade it down to 5297-ish to 5295. That would be a nice trade. If not, we are looking to see if we can fill the gap up to the next sell side liquidity pool, which is up there at 5,343. So if we close above, we're looking for buy side pullbacks to get back into those trades for the ES. Crude oil, light sweet, we put this up yesterday as well. We've had this big buy side block where we used it, a beautiful trade off the buy side block there in that first instance, pinpoint on the liquidity level 1 there, and up it goes, smashes through the minor sell side liquidity pool up to the major sell side liquidity pool. Again, pinpoint on CL on that first one. ES likes to go deep into its liquidity pools. Crude often likes to just tap into it and work it, come down and perhaps again and then again. But this, in the first instance, both times in and out, in and out. So to the downside, this was the sell for the major trend that we got going on from the end of May through to June. And we've worked our way deeper. So that was the first touch. We've worked our way deeper into this buy side pool now. Now we're stacking two buy side pools here. Here's one that wasn't touched into back from February. It has now used it in the second level, pinpoint in the second level. So it still does have another level down at 71.88, 71.90, there or thereabouts. It's sidelining at the moment on the 30 minutes. It's not doing anything. It's just going sideways at this level. The question is it working the accumulation out of this buy side pool? If it is, then you're going to look for volume out of the open. We could fake down, by the way. We could fake down on the open, but you're looking for volume out of here at above 73.30s to see if we get a chance to get up to 77s. That would be a really nice trade. Crude's been putting in some good numbers out of these pools. Every time we're tapping into one of these sell sides, it's putting in some good numbers. The question is, for sell sides to hold, the buy sides have got to fail. That continues your downtrend, and that's what we've done here. So there's a little tap in, acknowledged it out for 76.75 up to 77.55. That's still a decent trade there, but it still wanted to go down. Every one of these, you could draw them all in. Every one of these comes back to grab that sell side liquidity, right? That's what we're drawing in. This A to B is putting in this major sell side liquidity because it's the major rundown that we've had. So that would be the target overall. If we break up and out of this area, keep above 73.15. And if we can keep it up, we're looking to buy dips on the way up to this. My dips are defined by, if we zoom in on here, my buying the dips are defined by the buy side liquidity pools. That's what we're going to try and be passing those futures challenges on. Here we go. There's one here. That was the trade from last night. This is the trade from this morning. So this is this morning's dip into that buy side. Off you go. So we'll draw that in because we're going to start to track these buy. This is the newest buy side off of the price action over the past, over yesterday and today. So all of these that we're in now, these big green box that we're in now, if I look on the 4 hour, it even looks huge on the 4 hour, it's driven by these swings, all right? These big swings back here. This big block is the whole swing up that crude done from A to B and has pulled back into this block. So this is where the liquidity is to come back for the buy side. We've got a double hit down here. There is one more down there at 68, 69. So we'll be wary of that. But for the meantime, we're going to look and see what we've got on play today. and if there's anything we can do. And at the minute, we know our first buy side is holding twice. Yesterday and today it's held. Can we get trades off to the long side on crude oil or not today? Gold futures for the last one before we wrap up the early bird session is GC. GC again, loving the levels on GC. So buy side in all the way up. Forget the micro. The micro was from this swing here. It went for the major, which was from the A to the B. We went into that sell side, come off, went down to the buy side. We did push through lower into that. I'm guessing we picked up one of these again. Yeah, pushed down into that buy side liquidity pool down there, and we've come up. Target was from the A to the B swing, the full swing up to the sell side liquidity pool here, which we've just sold off from again this morning. All right, so this morning we've sold off. The close from yesterday is down here at 2346. We kind of acknowledged it. I think we could go for it again. I think we could go for it. Now we could come up to 350s, 360s, and then drop down into it on, for the open. Or we could continue to go for it before the open, and then we're looking to buy out of this buy side liquidity and get a push back up to either the 360, the 360s, or even higher than that and deeper into this sell side liquidity up here at 366. So have a look at those, draw them on your chart, see how they play out. I'll be banging them all over into the Discord with the alerts for each of these levels that you'll get. If we dip into it, it comes in, pings off into the Discord, and you get it. This is kind of what it looks like over in the early bird session here. You get those, the videos of what's going on. You get the levels before anybody else. Early doors, you're looking at about 6 a.m. EST, and as they pop on the scanner, I'm putting them out there, right? I'm updating this, and then you get the Spidey bot telling you if you're entering a buy side or a sell side liquidity pool, and yeah, you're good to go basically. So it takes the effort off what you've got to do if you're looking at these. And again, it's marked up for NQ, ESCL and gold. If you're nice and you ask for one, we could do platinum, we could do the Russell, we could do the currency futures as well, but they're the ones we're going to be putting out most. NQ, ESCL and gold, as well as the small cap. So that is it. Let's just have a look at the small cap that was running there. Got my days mixed up here. I think I threw it onto Friday's watch. So SYTA was on the scanner again. So look now, look. The bogey level sits in the middle between benchmark 1 and benchmark 2. That's what is acknowledged at the moment at 250. So let's see what that one does. But you are getting in here 139. The breakout was at 150, 160. Look at this on the 2 minute. Look. Even on the 1 minute. That's what you're looking to take advantage of with the early bird pre-market. It is the push out. That's on my radar straight away. Why? Because it tells me in the LiquiVision pre-market scanner, it puts it right in my face. It shouts the ticker at me and says, have a look at this, which is what I do. And then I'm identifying, have we got room? The answer this morning on SYTA is yes, you do. You've got room from 154 up to 2, and then you've got room from 2 up to 270. So let's see what it does at the moment. I'm always tracking sell side liquidity on these, by the way, because for it to push higher, even on this push, it would have had to have broken 180. When it does, you get it bang on the tape again. The volume comes up and it pushes to the next level. Again, here, we're marking up the sell side liquidity. It's identical. It's actually identical in price and time on this swing back, right? There it goes. Like literally there's a smidge in it. But as soon as it breaks 236, in comes the volume again and up it goes to the next level. So this is the bogey level and we've put it in here. So what we're going to do now is track the most recent buy side, which is what we're in now. So for SYTA, we're in a buy side pool. The question is this buy side going to hold or fail? If it's going to hold and start to push up with volume, then our next sell side liquidity is literally at the bogey level, right? So we were trying to push lower now. So that is the sell side. So there's the sell side pull. Now overall, we started down here and we're coming to here. So what I call the resting buy side pull, that could mean it's over for the day, or it's taking a breather, or it's going to come back this afternoon in an attempt to squeeze. That's what I'm looking at. If I'm shorting up here, I'd rather short up here at 270s, but if I was shorting up here on this rejection here, then I'm first targeting from 240 down to 220 for 20 ticks. Then I'm hoping we can use this as a safety blanket. If 244 holds, if we need it as liquidity, we come back and get it almost instantly. If we don't need it, there's one of the alerts pinging off now. You can see that alert has just reacted in the Discord. There it is at this time. I'm in London, so that's just hit there, and that's how you get it. It's that quick, it's instant, and it's great. So coming off here now, we are looking to see if that was hold. We didn't need to grab that liquidity. Are we going to foul and break and close below this 214 area? If we do, the chances are we're going to grab 180 or 168. Then it's time to just wait, sit on the hands and wait for the open to see if we're going to work out of this area on volume or not. Okay, so that's it for SYTA. We'll see what we've got. If we pop up here, that could be a nice short. Well, look, if we crack it on volume, then watch out for 280. Look for rejection at 280, because what I would look for is this. If this does work out on volume and pushes and breaks above, I'm looking for a harsh push up there. At that point, I would look for this down, back up to sell side liquidity, and then I'm looking for the next buy side pull. So for example, I'd be going buy side pull to the new high. That would be my new target at 240, still having this 180 down here as another target. If I want to get into that trade, ideally I'm taking the high to the first low and I want it to pull back, and that would be my short there. So I want it to put in the high. It's a significant high if it gets to benchmark 2, meaning if it breaks benchmark 2, it can go supernova. So break the high, coming down to the low, testing that sell side liquidity and not getting any further. It should almost instantly reject it on a wick like this, and then we see the drop come in. So that's kind of the thing I'd be looking for. But bearing in mind, if we break above it, be very careful. It's a day one stock. Don't recommend shorting day one stocks, but they are on the scanner and everybody does. So I'm just giving you the levels so you can get into it. All right, guys, that's the pre-market early bird. I'll leave this up in Tradecaster so you can grab it and take a look. But that's all from me for the moment. I will see you in a bit.